Alright, hey everyone. It's been a while since I last made one of these little update things. It's been a while since I've really posted anything. I mean, save for the 3 videos that I posted specifically for Halloween. But, overall, I've been pretty radio silent, save for the occasional retweet and shit. Twitter and Blue Sky, mostly Blue Sky. I don't really retweet much on Twitter anymore since, But, it's been a while, and I figured that I'd, sit down and fill you guys in on some stuff since I think I'm in a place now where I can talk about it. So a lot's been going on. I'm sure some of you could put together the pieces that ever since the fallout with those 4 friends of mine from back in September, that things have been complicated. That's the best way I can say it. Complicated. That particular incident, mainly the particular falling out with one of those 4 friends, was the absolute downfall from my mental well-being for a good long while. Things have been difficult. I've been struggling a lot with not only my physical health, but my psychological health. And things just, for a long time, felt like they were getting worse before they were getting better. I stopped taking my meds because they were no longer working. Like, they hadn't worked for a while. I was just in denial about that for a long time, but in October, I kind of, cold turkeyed everything, save for, 2 meds that were only meant for my body and not my brain. And, yeah, things have been hard. It felt like everything was falling apart. I came to some realizations, a lot of them involving just feeling so hopeless in my situation and thinking that things were never going to get better and that they were only going to get worse and that it was only just going to be an absolute spiral into the abyss from here. I don't mind talking about this, I guess. I mean, if it makes somebody out there feel a little less alone in their predicament, then I guess it's okay. Last month, in particular, I relapsed for the first time in the good old SH department, if you catch my drift. It was not fun, when the smoke cleared and I realized the gravity of what I had just done. But, I'm okay now. I've been okay since. I haven't had another relapse since, but that was kind of an eye-opener, realizing that I was really on the brink of just absolute despair. It felt like things had completely fallen apart and out of my control, and I had no way of steering it back in the direction I wanted. Let's see, in regards to my mental health, I'm taking a bit of control with that again. It's not easy, to say the least. I have a lot of rough days where it feels like I'm falling several steps behind what I want, but I'm on a new medication. I talked to my doctor, we got a new medication, a new antidepressant for me, and so far, I don't really feel much of a difference, but I think if I give it another week or 2, it'll, actually start to kick in. I don't know. And I've also been going to therapy, and I'll be seeing an actual psychiatrist in January. So I'll have that support team for my mental health and a way to make sure that it improves. And so far, my therapist has been absolutely amazing. They've helped me figure out a lot of the root causes of my issues and have given me a lot of resources to better understand those issues and ways of trying to cope with it. Right now, we're working on fully dissecting every little detail, every little issue, if you will, with me. Past, present, and future-wise, I guess, and working out a cohesive plan to start the healing process. And so far, it's been good. It's been helpful. It's been really helpful. It's made me feel a lot better about therapy, considering that my last few experiences with therapy have been really bad. And in terms of my support system outside of therapy, I mean, it's small. I've only got like 2 people that I actually confide in with this stuff. But, it's more than enough. Like, having Steven, my husband, there, and my brother-in-law, Steven's brother, there to act as my support system, basically the safety net to catch me each time I fall off the edge, is nice. For a long time, I didn't really have a good support system when it came to mental stuff, so it's nice to actually, have one that I can fully rely on. Not to say that any of the people that I have in my life aren't good with that stuff, it's just, it's not easy opening up about this stuff to somebody else on a one-on-one level. It took me a long time to feel comfortable opening up about a lot of things with Steven and my brother-in-law. I'm still coming clean with a lot of other things. Both positive, negative, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know what I mean. But I'm getting there. I'm on the road to healing. I've got a good network of doctors. I've got a good support system. And I'm trying actively to get back into the things that used to make me happy. Which brings me to another point. Actually, even before then, before the incident in September with those friends, I had been struggling really bad with not just the mental health issues kind of starting to decline, but also burnout, like really, really bad burnout. Not just from voice acting, but from pretty much everything. I no longer found joy in the games I used to play. I no longer found joy in drawing, in writing, in voice acting. I no longer felt, I guess, okay overall with anything. I completely stopped talking to my online friends. I shut myself away from family. I basically locked myself in completely and locked myself out of all the things that made me happy at the same time. Basically, I was stuck in a box, an empty box. It had nothing really, going on. But, it was not fun. I couldn't really do much of anything. The only things that were really, still intact joy-wise for a while was reading fan fiction and watching YouTube. But even now, as I record this, those aren't sparking joy as much as they used to anymore. Nothing really sparks joy anymore. And it's not easy to say that. It was hard. I didn't want to burden anybody online with this crap, so I kept it to myself. Brody, stop it. That's it. Go away. Go away. You're being bad. He keeps getting into the garbage. Stop. I guess one thing sparks joy is being around Steven and being around my cats. Even though all 3 of them infuriate me in a lot of ways sometimes, they're still my family. And they're literally the only saving grace I have left right now. But I don't want it to be like that forever. I can't rely solely on these guys to keep me going. Otherwise, that's gonna turn into some toxicity that I am not ready to face. So I'm actively working, not just with my doctors, but with Steven and my brother-in-law to start, working towards improving myself and finding joy in the little things again. Because I want to feel happy with the things I like again. I want to feel joy in drawing, in writing, in voice acting. I want to be able to talk to people online again without feeling petrified and paranoid and scared and ashamed all the time. And overall, like most of all, I just want to feel okay again. Like, mentally and emotionally. And as for the physical health stuff, it's been a doozy. Aside from the fact that my chest pains, which should have gone away when I got that emergency gallbladder removal 2 years ago, things have changed. My PCOS has gotten worse, like a little TMI here, so if you're squeamish with, like, period talk, then you have every right to leave, but, the cramps have been more painful. Way too painful for what, is there. That's as much as I'm gonna say without getting too gross and graphic, but it's just been unbearably painful. Way more than it should be. And it's been like that for a while. Brody, stop it. There have been some mishaps here and there. I've been to 2 doctors about it, an urgent care place, and just recently an actual OBGYN. And first of all, I should say, like, my previous doctor, before Steve and I moved out of my parents' place and moved into the city, when I was still seeing my old doctor, like, context, before I was on Medicaid, so I was using a welfare doctor. And for a while, I thought that he was a really good doctor. He was kind and empathetic, and he seemed pretty knowledgeable on his craft. And I figured that, with someone so passionate and sweet, that, I was bound to get treated properly despite the limitations of being on welfare. Finding out, after I married Steven, got on his insurance, and started seeing, new doctors with, like, under his insurance, like his really good insurance that he gets through his work, I learned the hard way that my old doctor was actually a fucking schmuck. Gave me the wrong diagnoses, gave me too many pills that didn't really do anything and actually made my issues worse, and overall was just bad. Like, he was a kind guy, but I'm pretty sure he sucked at his job. And granted, you could say the argument that because he's a welfare doctor, there's only so much the guy could do right to fix my issues, but in the words of the OBGYN I saw not that long ago, he was treating the symptoms, but not the overall root of the problem. And, that makes more sense to me now than it ever has. But no, I actually like my new doctors. My new primary care doctor, as well as the OBGYN, who's now taking me on as a regular patient, given that my old doctor also never bothered to schedule me for more appointments with an OBGYN for 4 years after I first began seeing the guy. So that was a big issue, especially because I never got, like, an actual proper, like, full body examination, only, like, minor examinations, not like the professional shit where they use the machines and whatnot to, like, check your insides and outsides for any issues. But we're getting that taken care of. I've got another appointment with the OBGYN at the end of January of next year, so that's great. Not to mention, I'm going to be seeing a GI for the chest pain, because my new doctor claimed that the fact that I'm on the highest dosage of omeprazole possible, and I'm still having issues with my GERD, is signs that something seriously wrong could be going on that the old doctor just overlooked completely, and his, subsidiary doctors under welfare also chose to overlook. So she's sending me to a GI also in January to get that figured out, which is good. Very good. Overall, my health, my physical health is getting some, it's getting treated. I had a couple scares here and there, but, overall, it seems like my physical health is going to be getting good. Although, there's one last issue with my physical health that needs to be addressed that has yet to be addressed. Let's see, what's today? Fuck. I won't be able to contact them until after Christmas is over. Shit. But, so, I'm gonna make a long story short. Because of a certain issue I have with my white blood cells and my platelet count. Basically, they're elevated and have been elevated for a good long while, probably for the entirety of this year. They were elevated when I first got my first couple blood tests done under my new doctor's jurisdiction. But we suspect that this has been going on for almost the entire year since I haven't gotten my blood test done with my last doctor since, I think, last year? Or at the very least, earlier this year. I don't know. But, I can't, probably in January. I can't remember. But overall, it's been going on for a while. And there are a number of things that could mean. Because the proper diagnosis that I have is persistent lymphocytosis and thrombocytosis, which basically means that the persistent elevation of white blood cells and platelets. And, granted, my doctor told me when I went to see her last week, was it last week? Yeah, I think it was yeah, I don't remember. It's sometime this month. So when I went to see her, she told me that, it was nothing to worry about. It was probably just a little, fluke in my body system. But, Google has a couple other ideas. And I agree with my doctor. I shouldn't have gone and Googled it to scare myself with, false suspicions that Google can only, surface level read into what's going on with me and decide for me what's going on. I gotta wait until I actually go see the blood specialist that, she's referring me to figure that out. But suffice it to say, according to Google, I've got 2, maybe 3 options of what this could be. The first one, which I'm really hoping for, because it's the most logical, I guess, given that everything in my body fucking hurts, and it has been for a long time, is rheumatoid arthritis, which sucks considering I'm only 26, but whatever, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with having rickety, creaky bones and muscles for the rest of my life if it means that it could be better than the alternative, which is leukemia. Specifically CLL, which is chronic lymphocytic leukemia, if I'm remembering that correctly. Which basically means that my bone marrow, where my blood cells form, I guess, is a little screwy-dooey, and it caused a little mutation to suddenly occur in my bloodstream, which is, where the cancer is born. And the best part about that is, it doesn't have any symptoms. Or at least it does, but in most cases, you don't exhibit any symptoms of having that particular cancer. That particular form of leukemia, rather. The only way you would know is getting your blood done by a specialist and having them basically, run some tests, maybe do a bone marrow extraction to run some extra tests on that just to be safe, and then see whether or not you fit the criteria for having CLL. Doesn't help that the place I'm going to specifically for this referral is a cancer care center, which makes me feel a little nervous, but my doctor reassured me that that's pretty normal. These people since leukemia is a cancer of the blood, it makes sense that a bunch of blood specialists who specialize in looking for that sort of thing would work in a clinic like that. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But either way, it's, a lot. The magical third option is that it's something that Google's not telling me. There were other options, but they're absolutely, positively inaccurate because, one, I'm not, like, I'm not a whore, because the two other options are HIV or herpes, and I know for a fact I don't got those. My blood would have shown it with the last couple tests I've done. And I've done a lot of blood tests since then to make sure that my, white blood cells and platelets were looking stable. And that's the whole reason I'm in this mess, is because they're not stable. They've been still persistently elevated for months on end. But the doctors would have told me if I had any of those, because it would have shown up on the tests. Not to mention if it was herpes, I would have been exhibiting, the obvious signs. If you know, you know. So I know it's not that for a fact. And my doctors know that for a fact. But, I've got those, those three magical options. Arthritis, cancer, or mystery color. I literally do not know which is which. But, given that the place has yet to call me to schedule an appointment upon receiving my referral, if they got it at all, little side tangent, we had to resend the referral info a second time because they never received the first sendage of the info, which was nice. And given that they still haven't called me since I, had them resend that info in at the beginning of the month, once Christmas is over, I'm gonna call them again and, see what the heck is up. And if something's wrong, I've gotta go to my primary and, let her know that shit's fucked. And that we probably need to go to a different cancer specialist to get my blood work done. But, yeah, that's what's been going on. Overall, despite everything I just mentioned, despite everything that's been going wrong, physically and mentally and emotionally, things have been okay-ish. We're, the apartment that we're living in is nice. It's still standing. It's still decent. I suck at being a housewife, but I'm improving in pieces. It's hard, given that my brain doesn't like to compute sometimes, and I miss a lot of spots when it comes to cleaning, but overall, it's pretty balanced over here. Steven's job keeps us well-funded, keeps me healthy because of his insurance, and him helping me with the co-pays and whatnot. And overall, everything's been okay in that aspect. My brain and my body just want to be assholes and not let me enjoy the good things that I finally have. Which is why I'm seeking help. And why am I telling you all this? Well, given that it's been a while since I last talked to you guys about anything that was going on, I figured that you guys had the right to know. Not to mention, I live on the philosophy of trying to be honest with you guys. I don't want to have to put on a facade of somebody that I'm not, like most creators on this platform tend to do. I don't want to feel obligated to pretend to be somebody else just for entertainment. That's not me. Unless I'm acting as a character completely separate of myself, or at the very least playing myself OC, which is like a variant of myself, just exaggerated in a lot of ways. I prefer, unless I'm doing that, I prefer just to be me. Just unapologetically goofy, weird, oddball me. Flaws and all. And I figured, if there's anybody out there that's going through a similar strife, where life should be sunshines and rainbows for them because they have a nice home, a good family, money, food on the table, a warm bed to sleep in, and little furry creatures that love them with all their heart and, want to see you happy. But somehow your brain just still feels like beating you down and wanting to just watch you drown in sorrow. I want somebody out there to know they're not alone in that. And that even though I am still currently struggling a lot with this crap, even though I have to be medicated, seek professionals, even if I have to drown myself in overabundance of overstimulating situations and all sorts of weird-ass shit to keep me motivated and happy even for a little while. I want you to know that, for me, it's worth it. Everybody's journey of overcoming depression, anxiety, PTSD, it's different for everybody. A lot of the steps are similar, but the order in which you choose to take them in your own life to correct what's broken in you is up to you. It all depends on what you think is best for your healing journey. And I know I've got a long way to go. I thought I was getting better for a while, but, these things don't just go away instantaneously the second that things, environment-wise improve. A lot of things stick with you. They're ingrained in your system so deeply that it takes more than just a new house and extra money in your pocket to make everything go away and improve and feel better again. Not to say that for some people that doesn't fix their problems. I'm sure that a lot of people's issues would go away if they actually lived in a good home and had plenty of money to spare for food and bills and utilities and whatever stupid shit you want to add in on the side. But in my case, it's not enough. Money can only get you so far, in my opinion. It's the people around you, the people that you surround yourself with who actually genuinely want to see you succeed and want to help you and not put you down constantly for feeling broken. Those are the things that matter in making you better again. Not to say that I don't appreciate money. Oh, believe me, if I could make more money with this, I would be a happy camper. To a degree. I'd be happy in the sense where I'm no longer anxious about feeling completely useless in my own household all the time, but overall, it takes more than a couple extra quarters in my piggy bank to make me a happy person. I'm still trying to figure out how to feel happy again. How to feel okay again. I've been avoiding making content. I thought that making stuff for Halloween would make me feel better if I just forced myself to do something. And in a way, it did help. But at the same time, it was just one of those things where it's I don't know how to describe it. It's you overwhelm yourself with the pressure to do something good so much that the second that you finally get it done, you feel like everything just crashed and you have no strength to do it anymore, at least not for a good long while. I've got so many ideas for projects rolling around in my dome and written down in little sticky notes on my sticky notes app on my computer and in my Google Drive. I've got a lot of ideas for things I wanted to do, for things I still want to do. It's just a matter of finally feeling okay again with everything to want to do it again. Because you want to know the most fucked up thing about being in this kind of mental gymnastic situation right now? It's finding out that despite all the hard work that you've put into the craft that you thought you loved so much and that would, be your calling. That in the end it didn't really matter. I'm not gonna get too into it, but suffice it to say, I kind of came to terms recently that becoming a professional voice actor, like, voicing in video games and anime and shit, might not happen. I'm probably never gonna be in, like, say, the next Persona or Final Fantasy game. I'm probably never going to end up in the next mainstream anime. I'm probably never gonna become one of the big pros like Todd Haberkorn, Vic Mignogna, and so on. I'm probably never gonna be as big as those guys. I'm probably never gonna be big at all. The most I'll probably get far is maybe reach 20,000 subscribers, but that's a hard maybe. Because despite loving this so much, I understand now that, like, I'm not nearly as talented as a good chunk of other people who do this content are. Some people have been doing this for years and have built such a big following that they feel, obligated to stick around for the ride until the very end. And other people have, I guess, more appealing voices. Like, I know that my voice can only, go so far. But, when it comes to other people's voices, I can think of so many creators that have such a wide and amazing and just overall extraordinary vocal range that they can play a wide variety of characters and still sound completely different from each other. Like, half the time you would never know it was the same person voicing these characters unless you actually looked in the credits and saw their name. But I know that I'm not one of those talented people. I'm not trying to shit on myself for the purpose of pity or anything. I'm just being blunt about how I feel about my own capabilities. And despite... I should back up a bit. For a while, because of this realization, I was tempted to quit right off the bat. I was tempted to just stop doing this entirely. Just cold turkey content creation and just drop off the face of the internet. Make new IPs that are just, typical bystander schmucks, and then just go, like, for the sake of, like, Twitter and stuff, just to browse other artists and stuff that I follow, and then just abandon ItsDanniFandom as a whole entirely. But actually, it was Steven that encouraged me not to do it. The same person that encouraged me to become ItsDanniFandom, to encourage me to pursue voice acting, because he saw talent in what I could do, because he saw potential in said talent. He thought that I could get somewhere with this. The same person who believed in me at the start with something that I only did as a joke just to, I guess, cope with the situation I was in at that time, is the same person that's still encouraging me to do it today. Not because of money, not because of fame or anything like that, but because he knows it made me happy. Because he knows that there are so many people out there that absolutely adore the stories I want to tell. That even if it's just one person out there, even if it's just him that's watching my stuff, he wants me to find joy in creating. He wants me to take pride in the passion that is this. He still praises me every single day for those first few Camilla videos I put out. He was there when those comments came in. Of all the people that watched those videos, complimenting me for giving life and personality and depth to a character that was designed specifically to be, you know, eye candy. Like, we can all agree that Camilla was never meant to be a fully fleshed out, dynamic character. She was literally there for horny bait. She was just there to please a certain demographic, and that was it. They never delve really into her wants, her needs, her desires, her past, her history, anything. It's the fans that all did that. But so many people told me that I was the only one who managed to successfully tell a compelling story with her as the protagonist and give her life in a way that the creators of Fire Emblem Fates never managed to do. And even Steven agrees with that. He fucking hates Fire Emblem Fates. I mean, he doesn't hate it, but, you know, it is the worst Fire Emblem game, if we're being honest. But overall, it was that reminder that some rando loser like me on the internet was able to create something and bring a whole network of people together over a single character that for a long time people thought was just, you know, boobs on legs, wearing lingerie style armor with, like, you know, the emo-ish purple hair and, you know, the incesty yandere big sister complex. That was all she was, yet everyone turned to me and said that I did a phenomenal job at giving her life beyond that. And for a long time, I didn't think, like before that, I didn't think I was capable of really, you know, telling a decent story. I didn't think I was capable of doing much of anything, really. Before I started this channel, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I had no real dreams, aspirations. I had hobbies, but it didn't really extend farther than that. I had nothing. And Steven encouraging me to post that first audio drama with Camilla on a channel that was literally made just to post shit posts and whatnot to make myself feel better. That was what started it all. And knowing that he still has faith in me after all these years, that he's still my #1 fan despite so many issues with my freaking content, and knowing that this content isn't necessarily his cup of tea, but just knowing that he believes in me, and in turn that just somebody believes in me, makes me feel a whole lot better. Makes me feel a lot more at ease, I guess. More confident. Like, I can actually achieve something good. Like, I can achieve something greater than this. Not to say I want to, like, you know, change anything. I'd like to add on different types of content to the matrix of my channel. But, is that the right word, matrix? I don't know. Screw it, I'm going with it. But just, I want to do more. I want to do better. I want to continue this. Because even if it goes nowhere, even if I never become one of the big wigs in the voice acting sphere on YouTube, if I never make it to the big wigs of voice acting on the Hub or Fansly or whatnot, even if I never make it to the big wigs at, say, like, Funimation, Crunchyroll, frickin' video games, even if I never make it that far, if I can make at least one person happy with the stupid videos that I make, with the dumb stories I have to tell, with the dumb characters I choose to involve in it, maybe there's hope after all. And maybe as I start to work on, you know, finding new things to make me happy again, I can find new inspirations for, like, new things I can create and cultivate for this channel. For all of you, and for myself. Because I want so badly to create. It's all I've ever wanted to do, is just create. Because I figured that even if I couldn't have a happy ending, who's to say I can't create one for somebody else, fictional or not? That's all I wanted to do, and that's all I still want to do. So, yeah. I don't really know where else to take this. God, I'm at 40 minutes, and it was just me rambling on about a bunch of stupid shit. It's funny, I've, for the past couple weeks, I've recorded this video a multitude of times. And I can never properly figure out the right words to get out to explain what's been going on and how I'm feeling. But I think I finally got it. I think this is the one I'm finally going to put out there to let you guys know that I'm okay. I mean, I'm not okay. I still have some things I need to fix, but I'm getting there. And I think right now, at this very moment in time, I'm okay enough where I feel like pushing forward, everything's gonna just get better. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know it will improve. I just gotta be patient. Also, this isn't me, like, saying that I'm crying or anything, but, like, I need to see an optometrist or something because my eyes are fucked. It's like, the second that they water just a little bit, it feels like lava's being poured into my corneas. My eyes burn like the Dickens, and it won't stop. It's been going on for months. I need to see another doctor about this shit. I'm gonna have a whole line of doctors for every single little thing that I have going wrong with my body. I mean, that's the joy of having a husband with a great paying job and even better insurance, but, you know, still, there's a limit to these things. I can only take so much physical discomfort and pain before it starts to become absolutely insufferable. And before I start looking like a crazy person amongst the medical field. Also, I really need to stop talking because I promised Steven that I'd vacuum the carpet before he got home. And I need to do that on top of the dishes, and the dishes have been piling up for days. And I've been too lazy to clean them. So yeah, I think that's a good way to stop this. Sorry for rambling on so much about this stuff, but I felt like since you guys have been with me through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the horrific for the last 7 ongoing 8 years, you guys deserve to know what's going on right now. And to know that I'm not dead, I'm just figuring myself out. I was taking a good long break for a while, trying to sort out my emotions, and I think I'm at a point where I can start the healing process. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to get there, where I'll finally feel fully okay, but that's the joy of the journey. Going through the rough bumps in the road and whatnot before you get to the other side and you get to see that rainbow on top of the hill. Well, yeah. Thanks for listening to me ramble for over half an hour. New videos will be coming out soon. I don't know when, but they'll be out soon. I know I've got one that I've been working on editing for... Well, okay, I haven't started editing, but I've been meaning to. It's not an actual audio, it's more of a reaction video. I thought it would be funny. It's a long story, you'll know when I post it finally, but suffice it to say, I want to, like, you know, I want to get back into other content just to like, alongside the voice acting stuff. Just, you know, expand my horizons, look for, you know, little things and big things and medium things to find joy in again in terms of being a creator and an entertainer, so to speak. I don't know. But overall, yeah. Thanks so much, guys, for listening to me ramble. I hope to see you guys in the next upload. And everything's gonna be okay. It may not look it right now, but I promise things are gonna be okay. You just gotta promise to make it through at least one more day. And if you can make it through that day, try to make it through the next, and then so on and so forth until finally, you're out of the woods and looking at that rainbow over the hill. And I'll be there with you. And everything's gonna be alright. Everything will continue to be alright. We just gotta find the path there. Also, Merry Christmas. Thank you guys. I'm gonna go now. Alright. Bye.